The argument started over something stupid, a client meeting I'd handled differently than Dad wanted. But by the time it was over, 28 years of family dysfunction had exploded across the conference room of Mitchell and Associates. "You're undermining everything I've built." Dad's voice echoed off the glass walls as the entire office pretended not to watch our family meltdown. "I was trying to save the Henderson account," I said quietly. "Their budget changed. I found a solution that worked for everyone. Without consulting me." He slammed his hand on the mahogany conference table. "This is my company. I'm the account manager, Dad. It's literally my job to manage accounts. Your job is to do what I tell you to do." Mom sat at the end of the table saying nothing. She never said anything when Dad went nuclear. Just watched with that disappointed expression she'd perfected over the years. "Richard," she finally spoke, her voice ice cold. "Perhaps it's time we address the real problem." "The real problem. Here it comes. Sarah has never respected this business," Mom continued. "She thinks she knows better than you do. Better than we do. I've been working here for 6 years, Mom. I've brought in over $30 million in new business. And you've questioned every decision we've made for 6 years," Dad shot back. "You think you're smarter than everyone else. I think I'm good at my job." "Your job?" Dad laughed bitterly. "Your job exists because I created it for you. This company exists because I built it from nothing 30 years ago." "I know that, Dad." "Do you?" "Because you act like you're running the place." I looked around the conference room. The same room where I'd presented winning proposals to dozens of clients. Where I'd closed deals that kept this company profitable. Where I'd worked nights and weekends to meet deadlines that Dad had promised without consulting me. "Maybe I should be running the place," I said quietly. The silence that followed was deafening. Dad's face went red. "Excuse me. You heard me. Maybe someone who understands modern marketing should be making the decisions around here. Get out. Richard." Mom's voice held a warning tone. "No." He pointed toward the door. "Get out of my office. Dad, let's just calm down and—" "You're not my daughter anymore." The words hit like a physical blow. "Get out of our business. Get out of our lives." I stared at him. At them. My parents who had just disowned me over a client meeting. "Fine," I said. "I'll pack my things." "Sarah." Mom's voice was softer now, but not soft enough. "No, Mom. You two have made your choice." I walked to my office, the corner office I'd earned through 6 years of excellent work, and started packing my personal items. Photos, awards, my coffee mug. The team I managed watched nervously as I cleared out my desk. "Sarah," Jessica from accounting whispered, "are you really leaving?" "Looks that way." "But what about the Phoenix account? The Peterson project?" "I guess Dad will handle all of that himself." She looked worried. "Sarah, those are our biggest accounts. You've been managing them for years." "Not anymore." 20 minutes later, I was carrying a box of my belongings to my car. Dad stood in the lobby, arms crossed, watching me go. "This is your choice, Sarah," he called out. "Don't come crawling back when you realize what you've given up." "I won't," I replied. "Don't worry about that." I drove home to my downtown loft, poured a glass of wine and sat on my couch staring at the city lights. My phone had been buzzing with texts from colleagues, friends, even a few clients who'd heard about the blow-up. But the most interesting message was from my lawyer. "Sarah, got your voicemail. Just to confirm, you want to terminate all Phoenix Enterprises contracts with Mitchell and Associates effective immediately." I smiled and typed back, "Yes. All contracts. Effective immediately. Phoenix Enterprises." My parents had no idea. For 3 years while working at Mitchell and Associates, I'd been building my own company. Nothing that competed with them directly. I wasn't stupid. But Phoenix Enterprises consulted for tech startups, handled digital marketing for e-commerce companies, managed social media campaigns for emerging brands. All the modern stuff that Dad dismissed as fad marketing. And for the past 2 years, Phoenix Enterprises had been subcontracting work to Mitchell and Associates. Big work. The kind of work that kept their doors open. You see, while Dad thought I was just his rebellious daughter who didn't respect his authority, I was actually his biggest client. The Henderson account that started today's fight? That was a Phoenix client that I'd brought to Mitchell and Associates because their traditional marketing approach complemented my digital strategy. The Peterson project Jessica mentioned? Phoenix account. The Morrison campaign that won Dad's biggest industry award last year? Phoenix account. In total, Phoenix Enterprises had funneled over $5 million worth of business to Mitchell and Associates in the past 2 years. And my parents had no idea because all the contracts were handled through my business partner, Marcus, who'd been signing off on everything while I managed the work internally. Dad thought he was throwing out his disappointing daughter. What he'd actually done was fire his biggest client. My phone rang at 8:30 the next morning. Marcus. Sarah, I just got a very interesting call from Mitchell and Associates. Oh. A Richard Mitchell called asking about our contract renewals. Apparently someone told him that Phoenix Enterprises might be reconsidering our relationship. Imagine that. Sarah, what do you want me to tell him? I sipped my coffee and looked out at the city skyline. Tell him that Phoenix Enterprises is terminating all contracts with Mitchell and Associates, effective immediately. All of them? Sarah, that's $5 million in annual business. All of them. Can I ask why? Let's just say they have management issues that conflict with our company values. Marcus was quiet for a moment. Sarah, this is going to hurt them badly. I know. Are you sure about this? Marcus, yesterday my father told me I wasn't his daughter anymore and threw me out of his business. I'm very sure. My phone started ringing 20 minutes later. Sarah. Jessica from Mitchell and Associates sounded panicked. Sarah, please tell me you're coming in today. I don't work there anymore, Jessica. Remember. Sarah, Mr. Mitchell is looking for the Phoenix files. He can't find any of the contracts or project details. Of course he couldn't. They were all on my computer, which had been wiped clean the moment IT revoked my access yesterday. I'm sure he'll figure it out. Sarah, Phoenix just canceled everything. Everything. The Henderson project, the Peterson campaign, the Morrison renewal. That's unfortunate. Sarah, this is 30% of our business. Was 30% of your business. Please, you have to talk to your dad. This is going to destroy the company. I hung up and poured myself another cup of coffee. The next call came from Mom. Sarah, we need to talk. Do we? Because yesterday you agreed that I wasn't your daughter anymore. Sarah, don't be dramatic. I'm not being dramatic, Mom. I'm being accurate. This Phoenix situation. What about it? Sarah, please don't pretend you don't know what's happening. Mom, I have no idea what you're talking about. There was a long pause. Sarah, are you Phoenix Enterprises? That's an interesting question, Mom. Why do you ask? Because they canceled $5 million in contracts the same day you left the company. Wow. What a coincidence. Sarah. Mom, I have to go. I have a business to run. Dad called an hour later. Sarah, we need to discuss this Phoenix situation. Hello to you too, Dad. Don't play games with me. Are you behind this? Behind what? You know damn well what. Dad, I'm confused. Yesterday you told me I wasn't your daughter and ordered me out of your business. Today you're calling me about your business problems. Which is it? Sarah, if you're Phoenix Enterprises. If I'm what? He was quiet for a long moment. Sarah, are you the owner of Phoenix Enterprises? Why would you think that? Because they pulled $5 million in business the day after I fired you. Dad, you didn't fire me. You disowned me. There's a difference. Sarah, please. The company can't survive losing Phoenix. That sounds like a management problem. Sarah. Dad, I distinctly remember you saying that I don't understand business. That I don't respect what you've built. That I think I'm smarter than everyone else. So why are you calling me about business problems? Because you are Phoenix Enterprises. Am I? Sarah, stop playing games. I'm not playing games, Dad. I'm living my life as someone who is no longer your daughter, remember? I hung up. By noon my phone was buzzing with messages from everyone at Mitchell and Associates. The panic was setting in. $5 million in annual revenue doesn't just disappear without consequences. Jessica texted, Sarah, please call me. Mr. Mitchell is in his office with the door closed. Your mom looks like she's been crying. Everyone's talking about layoffs. Marcus called to update me on the situation from Phoenix's side. Sarah, I've had 6 calls from Mitchell and Associates today. They're desperate. I'm sure they are. They're offering to match any competing bids to keep our business. There are no competing bids, Marcus. We're moving our subcontracting in-house. All of it. All of it. It's time Phoenix grew up. That afternoon I got an unexpected visitor. Mom showed up at my apartment building, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. Sarah, may I come up? I don't know, Mom. Are we allowed to associate with people who aren't your daughter? Sarah, please. I buzzed her up. She sat on my couch, looking around my loft apartment with surprise. This is very nice. Thanks. Sarah, I need to ask you directly. Are you the owner of Phoenix Enterprises? Mom, what difference does it make? It makes a $5 million difference to our company. Your company. Not mine, remember. She was quiet for a moment. Sarah, how long have you owned Phoenix? Why do you care? Because if you've owned it for as long as we've been working with them. Then what, Mom? Then you've been supporting our company while we treated you like. Like what? Like you didn't matter. I sat down across from her. Mom, I've been building Phoenix for 3 years. For 2 of those years, I've been subcontracting work to Mitchell & Associates because I thought it would help the family business. Sarah. I brought you the Henderson account. I brought you Peterson, Morrison, Caldwell Industries, TechFlow Solutions. Do you want me to keep going? Her eyes filled with tears. You were helping us. I was trying to. But apparently I was also undermining everything Dad built and thinking I'm smarter than everyone else. Sarah, we made a mistake. I made a mistake. Your father made a mistake. What mistake was that? We never saw what you were actually doing. We only saw what we thought you were doing. And what did you think I was doing? Being difficult. Questioning authority. Not respecting the business. And what was I actually doing? She wiped her eyes. Building your own business while keeping ours alive. That's one way to put it. Sarah, will you consider coming back? Mom, yesterday Dad told me I wasn't his daughter anymore. He was angry. He didn't mean it. Didn't he? Because from where I'm sitting it seemed pretty definitive. Sarah, please. The company needs you. The company fired me. The company made a mistake. I looked at my mother. This woman who had raised me supported Dad's business for 30 years, and never once stood up for me during his rages. Mom, what would coming back look like? You'd have your job back. Account manager, same salary. My old job. Well, yes. Working for Dad, taking orders, being treated like an underperforming employee instead of the person who's been keeping your doors open. Sarah, what do you want? I want respect. I want acknowledgement that I'm good at what I do. I want a seat at the table when decisions are made. You'll have that. Well, because yesterday when I tried to make a client decision, Dad screamed at me for undermining his authority. Things will be different. How? She was quiet for a long moment. Sarah, what would it take for you to bring Phoenix's business back? That's an interesting question, Mom. We can't survive without it. I know. Sarah, please. Tell me what you want. I stood up and walked to the window looking out at the city. I want Dad to apologize. Not just for yesterday, but for 6 years of treating me like I was incompetent. Okay. I want a partnership. Not a job, a partnership. 50% ownership of Mitchell & Associates. Sarah. I want the company name changed to Mitchell & Phoenix Associates. Your father will never. Then your father will lose his biggest client permanently. Mom was quiet for a long time. Sarah, you're talking about taking over half of everything he's built. Mom, I've been responsible for 30% of your revenue for 2 years. I've brought in over $30 million in new business in 6 years. I've managed your most important accounts. When exactly was I supposed to get credit for that? You're right. I want control over all digital marketing initiatives. I want to expand into the tech sector. I want to modernize everything about how this company operates. And if your father agrees to all of this, then Phoenix Enterprises will become Mitchell & Associates' exclusive partner. But Phoenix will be a subsidiary of the new company, not a client. Sarah, this is a complete restructuring. Yes, it is. Dad can accept that his daughter is a capable businesswoman who deserves a real stake in the company, or he can try to run Mitchell & Associates without me. Without my clients. Without my expertise. I'll talk to him. Mom, one more thing. Yes. I want him to understand that this isn't his charity case daughter asking for handouts. This is a successful business owner proposing a merger. Phoenix Enterprises has clients beyond what I've shared with Mitchell and Associates. We have our own office, our own team, our own reputation. How successful? Last year, Phoenix grossed $12 million in revenue. Her eyes widened. $12 million. $12 million. While I was working part-time hours because I was also managing accounts for Dad. Sarah, I had no idea. Of course you didn't. Neither of you ever asked what I did outside of the office. You assumed I went home and watched TV. We underestimated you. You ignored me. There's a difference. Dad called that evening. Sarah, your mother says you want to discuss terms. Hello, Dad. Let's not pretend this is a social call. You want 50% of my company. I want 50% of a company I've been propping up for 2 years. You haven't been propping up anything. You've been working here like everyone else. Dad, do you know what Phoenix Enterprises grossed last year? I don't care what. $12 million. There was silence on the other end. $12 million, Dad. While working part-time hours because I was also managing accounts for you. That's impossible. It's documented, Dad. Audited. Phoenix Enterprises is a real company with real clients and real revenue. Sarah. For 2 years, I've been subcontracting business to Mitchell and Associates because I wanted to help the family company. But apparently helping the family company made me a disrespectful daughter who doesn't understand business. I didn't know about Phoenix. Biz, you never asked. In 6 years of working together, you never once asked what I did outside the office. You never asked about my goals, my skills, my ideas for growing the business. Sarah, this changes things. Does it? Yes. If you own a $12 million company. Then what, Dad? Then you're not the underperforming employee I thought you were. No, Dad. I'm not. Sarah, about yesterday. What about it? I was angry. I said things I didn't mean. Which things didn't you mean? The part about you not being my daughter. And the rest. Sarah, I built this company from nothing. For 30 years I've made every decision, handled every crisis, carried every responsibility. When you questioned my decisions, it felt like you were trying to take that away from me. I was trying to help you make better decisions. I see that now. Do you? Sarah, will you consider the partnership? Under what terms? 50-50 ownership. Mitchell and Phoenix Associates. You handle all digital marketing and tech sector development. And decision-making? Equal partners make equal decisions. And respect. Sarah, you've earned my respect. It just took me too long to realize it. 3 weeks later I moved back into Mitchell and Associates, but not as an employee. As a partner. My new office was across the hall from Dad's, same size, same view. The nameplate on the door read Sarah Phoenix Mitchell, partner. Phoenix Enterprises became a wholly owned subsidiary of Mitchell and Phoenix Associates, bringing our total annual revenue to over $20 million. We hired 6 new employees and expanded into 3 new market sectors. But the most important change was the family dynamic. For the first time in my life, Dad saw me as an equal. He asked for my opinion. He considered my suggestions. He introduced me to clients as his business partner, not just his daughter. Mom took over operations management, something she'd been doing informally for years. The 3 of us became a real team, each contributing our strengths to build something bigger than any of us could have managed alone. 6 months after our explosive argument, Dad and I were in the conference room with a potential client, a tech startup looking for a comprehensive marketing strategy. Ms. Mitchell, the client said, Phoenix Enterprises came highly recommended. We're looking for someone who understands both traditional marketing and digital innovation. That's exactly what we do here, I replied. Mitchell and Phoenix Associates combines 30 years of traditional marketing excellence with cutting-edge digital strategies. And you handle both sides personally? I handle the digital strategy and implementation. My partner handles traditional marketing and client relations. The client looked confused. Your partner? Dad spoke up. That would be me, Richard Mitchell, Sarah's father and business partner. Father and business partner? Best of both worlds, Dad smiled. I taught her everything she knows about client relations and traditional marketing. She's teaching me everything I need to know about the future of this industry. After the client left with a signed contract, Dad turned to me. Sarah, that felt good. What felt good? introducing you as my partner instead of my employee. It felt good to me too. Sarah, I owe you an apology. A real one. For what? For 28 years of not seeing who you really were. For thinking that being my daughter meant you couldn't also be my equal. Dad, we're good. No, we're not just good. We're great. And Sarah? Yeah. I'm proud of you. Not because you're successful, but because you're the kind of person who kept helping the family business even when the family wasn't treating you right. Thanks, Dad. And Sarah? I'm glad you're my daughter and my business partner. The company that almost fired me became the company I co-owned. The father who disowned me became the partner who respected me. And the family business that I'd supported in secret became the foundation for something bigger than any of us had imagined. Sometimes the best way to prove your worth isn't to argue or explain, it's to quietly remove your contribution and let people figure out what they've lost. Phoenix Enterprises taught my parents what I'd been trying to tell them for years. I wasn't their problem employee. I was their secret weapon. They just needed to learn how to see me clearly. And once they did, we built something amazing together.